Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan, and we're joined by our reporter, David Aldridge, on the sidelines.
Harrison Barnes.
And it's in there. Oh, Stan, this should be a fun one. A clash at the center position.
Yeah, and Kevin, the way the game has changed, we don't see these kind of big men matchups much anymore. And so it's great to see one where two great big guys going at it, and they're going to go after each other.
And Stan, you know what you're talking about. You've had the opportunity to coach some great big men.
Oh, I have. I had Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, Andre Drummond. I seem to always have good centers.
Ball on the wing, Williams. From past the arc, Wembanyama with the rebound. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thank you, Kevin. Caught up with Coach Charles Lee, and I asked him, how do you contend with the size and skill of Victor Wembanyama? He said, every night we see this guy do something no one has ever seen before. It's kind of like dealing with the unknown. A whole new kind of player needs new schemes. So we'll see some inventiveness out there on the defensive side tonight, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Greg, one thing you notice, we were just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise. Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
It's Miller on the wing. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
4 on the clock. There's Williams. No good. Shot missing. Good defense by Wembanyama. Out to the right wing. Spurs passing it around. Green with the ball. Guarded now by Barnes. And it's Miller in the corner. Ball from deep three-point territory. And it's the Hornets another 3.
So often, LaMelo is the setup man. There, he's on the finishing end.
Here's Vassell. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Here's Ball. Williams in the post. Ball feeling it out a bit.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
And he makes good on the layup. Ball's got 5 now.
And he's really a smart offensive player. You have to respect Ball's strong sense for when to take that jumper.
Fox, the bounce pass. Nice shot by Wembanyama, no good. All right, Stan, let's put that coaching hat back on you. How in the world would you game plan for a player like Victor Wembanyama?
Well, that's a great question, Kevin, and there are no great answers because he's so good. I think when you're guarding him, you want to be as physical as you can and keep him as far away from the basket as possible to negate his length. Defensively, or when you're on offense, his defense, I think you want to use his instincts to block shots against him, take the ball at him, draw him, and get the ball to open people.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, but if it were that good, it would work more often against a guy that good. Putting that pass right in his stride, didn't have to slow up, and was able to complete the play.
Boy, Fox is so quick off the floor.
Pass to Williams. The kick out to Ball. And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Now Now here's Williams. Fires for three. That shot off.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Hornets foul call.
The Spurs have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
Well, Stan, when the Spurs landed the first overall pick in the draft, their fortunes changed back on May 16th, 2023.
Look, Kevin, the hardest thing for any franchise is to find the guy that you can build everything around. When they got Wembanyama, that dream came true for San Antonio, and they've got the guy they can build this franchise around for years to come.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Really a good season for him overall last year when you look at the number, 83% from the line.
Paul is truly the prototypical point guard. He's got a high IQ, takes care of the ball, and he prioritizes setting up his teammates.
The drive-by ball. Pass to Miller. Bridges with it. Outside, Green. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Spurs lead by 2. And back with the
13.
And close game. Underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep that kind of intensity for the entire game. But if they can come close to that, they'll be in a great spot.
Here's Ball. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
Pass to Mamukelashvili. The Hornets pull it in.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
From deep, Green. Nope, not that time. Nothing for 2 from the field. Here's Champagnie. From outside, off the mark. And so it's Ball with it. He brings it up for Charlotte. Took him no time at all on that run. Green's got the lead up to 3 now for Charlotte.
Good job of stepping up to the plate there, seizing back the momentum for his team.
Yeah, plenty of lead changes in this game. It's gone back and forth.
Williams with the block. Fast break now for Charlotte. Shot from the low block. And Bridges finishes it off. Bridges got 5 points so far.
Not only a jump shooter, Bridges also dependable at knowing how to get it done inside.
Pass to Johnson. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. To the inside to end the run. And that's 2 points on the layup. Stan, I've always admired you. Come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, I loved being around the game. And so 2 things happened that drove me into coaching. Number 1, I loved baseball and I couldn't hit one. So that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way. So if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest there.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion for it and always used to tell us that he never actually felt like he worked a day in his life. He loved it so much.
Following in his footsteps. Terrific story. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, the new leadership in Charlotte has made it clear that it's not going in for quick fixes. The goal is sustained success, building with youth and development. Call it roster flexibility or a blank slate. But with some promising young players and more health, there's nowhere to go but up. Kevin?
Health is huge. That's the hope. Hey, David, thank you. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession.
Substitution.
And the Spurs with some changes. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter.
Get up, LaMelo. These Ball brothers can fly.
Fox goes in, and it's Fox with the jam.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive stop.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort. Getting in there and fighting through the defense.
And for De'Aaron Fox, his three-point shooting, Greg, has come a long way.
In his rookie season, he only shot 30% on 2 attempts per game. But his volume and efficiency have both gone way up. And it's made him much more dangerous offensively.
And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Spurs trail by 11. Pass to Castle. Back to Fox. Rebound by Williams. And here are the Hornets now. Bridges deciding where to go with it. Into the lane. And he hammers that one down right in the face of De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, just an impressive dunker of the basketball. I love how Bridges just takes the initiative and gets funky with his throwdowns.
So, Greg, the Spurs last year began 15 and 56, but it was the ending that they're really hanging their head on. They won 7 of their last 11 games.
And over that closing stretch, Wemby averaged 27 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks. A small glimpse into the potential of this young superstar.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Here's Wembanyama. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And this kid is tough. Wembanyama just powering it in despite the contact.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Ball. And Ball slams it in.
And we've come to expect big things from LaMelo offensively. He loves to attack you on that end.
Outside, Fox. Back to Barnes. Bridges with the steal. And a fast break now for the Hornets. A pull-up. Pass to Williams. And the rejection by Wembanyama. And so it's Charlotte with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Now here is Smith. Outside Williams. A 3-ball. Buries the long-range jumper. Williams has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Hornets.
And for the defense, that is a heart-sinking moment when you see him that wide open from beyond the arc.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard with that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Vassell wide open. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Charlotte leading by 14. Pass to Nurkic. Launches a 3. Rebounded by the Spurs. Here's Castle. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. The 3 from Barnes. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Barnes has got 5 points so far.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look. Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Smith with it, and it's Vassell picking him up. Down low. Pass to Okogie. Clock at 6. Smith outside. Out to the right wing. Here's Nurkic. Off target on the 15-footer.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Coach, only 2 players have led the NBA in blocks as a rookie. Manute Bol and our favorite Victor Wembanyama.
Well, Kevin, Wembanyama is already special defensively, not only as a shot blocker, but the amount of ground that he can cover to affect shots. And there are people around the league that believe that he can become the best defender of all time. That is a textbook blockout to secure the rebound.
Back to Wembanyama. Brown. Fast break now for Charlotte. And it's a great finish!
Oh, my.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. At the elbow, Williams. Here's Nurkic. No scoring in this one. Okogie for 3. Barnes grabs the miss. Spurs trailed by 11. Here's Fox, and it's Fox with the jam.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
And the Hornets with possession here. They've led by as many as 14 points. Man can't hit. And here are the Spurs. They trail by 11. Pass to Mamu Kalashvili. Here's Branham. Right wing. Shoots it. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
Well, we've all had those as coaches. That's a no, 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 yes type of shot.
And Nurkic has it in the corner. There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Okogie. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Great dish from Nurkic there. He really has a sixth sense for those reads. And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford. Forward mistakes like that.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
The 3. Trains it from beyond the arc. Nurkic has got the lead up to 14 now for Charlotte.
Nurkic doesn't take a lot of bad shots, so when he decides to pull up off the dribble, you know he's feeling it.
For San Antonio, they've shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Pass to Nurkic. Here's Okogie. Here's Williams. Yes, and it's